Hello everyone, this is Karthik, Assistant Professor of Information Technology, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. This series is continuous of internet working and its models. Yesterday we have seen about the internet working. Before begin this, let me recall the statement of internet working. A collection of individual networks which are connected by intermediate networking devices and functioning as a single large network is called a internetwork. Okay, and when two or more networks are connected with each other by using devices like router, switch, hub is called internet working. Okay, in internet working models there are two primary models which are most commonly used in internet working models, that's are OSI reference model and TCP IP model. Okay, it describes the methods used in internet working. They also give the networking of protocols used for communication. The first one is the open source interconnections, that's a OSI model, and second one is the open source interconnection OSI model, which was developed by international organization for standardization, and it provides a detailed description of protocols of function using layering from hardware to software interface in user applications. And internet working comes at the network layer 3 of this model. Okay, uh, there are two types of model. One is our open system interconnection model, another one is TCP IP model, that means transmission control protocol in an internet protocol model. OSI model. This reference model describes how data how data transmitting from the software application from one computer moves through the other network media to reach the software application in another computer. This model consists of 7 layers. Each layer identifies and describes particular network's functions. The model was developed by ISO in 1984 and it's now considered the reference model for intercomputer communication. The following layers are application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. We can order from application layer to physical layer or else physical layer to application layer. But the first layer is physical layer and last layer is application layers. This is the order to follow the procedures, right? Next, TCP IP model. TCP IP model means transmission control protocol with internet protocols, right? So there are four layers in it, that's a transport layer and network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. Okay, the offer one TCP IP model, also known as the dot model. It is similar to OSI model as it is also appear as a layer model but uses much less descriptions. Okay, it was the first model to try and put network communication in layer format. TCP/IP was first seen in 1973. Later in 1978, it divided into distinct protocols, that is TCP and IP. In 1983, TCP/IP was officially named as the primary protocol suite for data transportation on the ARPANET, that is Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Okay, the advantages of the OSI models are it is a generic model and act as a guidance tool to develop any network model, and also it is a layered model that changes are one layer to layer do not affect other layers, provided that the interface between the layers do not changes drastically. Next, it distinctly separates services, interface, and protocols. Hence, it is flexible in nature. Protocols in each layer can be replaced very conveniently depending upon the nature of the network. It supports both connections oriented service and connectionless services. Next, disadvantages of the OSI model. It is purely the theoretical model that does not consider the availability of appropriate technology. This restricts its practical implementations, and the launching and timing of this model was all inappropriate. When OSI reference model appeared, the TCP/IP protocols were already implemented, so the companies were initially reluctant to use it. The of OSI reference model is very complex. The initial implementation was cumbersome, slow, and costly. Through there are many layers. Some of the layers like the session layer and presentation layer have very little functionality when practically deployed, and there is a duplication of services in various layers. Service like addressing, flow control, and error control are offered by multiple layers. The standards of OSI model are theoretical and do not offer adequate solution for practical network and implementation. Okay, and also this called as the processor applications layers and internet layers, etc. Next, the advantage of TCP/IP model suite are: it is an industry standard model that can be effectively deployed in practical networking problems, and it is interoperable. Example, it allows cross-platform communication among heterogeneous network. It is an open protocol suite. It is not owned by any particular institute and so can be used by any individual or organizations. It is a scalable client server architecture. This allows networks to be added without disrupting the current services. Next disadvantage of the TCP/IP model, or it is not generic in nature, so it fails to represent any protocol stack or other than the TCP/IP suite. For example, it cannot describe the Bluetooth connection. It does not clearly separate the concepts of services, interfaces, and protocols, so it is not suitable to describe new technology in new networks. It does not distinguish between the data link and the physical layers, which has very different functionalities, and the data link layer should concern with the transmission of frames. So on the other hand, the physical layer should lay down the physical characteristics of transmission. A proper model should be a segregate of two layers. These are all about the internet working models and its types of models. That is. Thank you.